Hey, welcome back. So, yesterday someone was swinging my car, and like usual, I completely ignored it. And I heard him getting upset because I wasn't doing anything. I literally just ignored it again. I didn't do anything. They want you to fight it. When you fight it, you just end up looking like a crazy person. So I ignored it. He was there for like 20 minutes, swaying my car. The times I have fed into it, they have actually lasted longer. But now, because they're getting like absolutely nothing, it was actually more like 10 minutes. Like, yeah, it wasn't even 20, but before it was a lot longer. And I am finding it a lot easier to mentally ignore it. The anger wasn't there anymore. And at the end, before the person left, they pushed my car really hard and left.
Go past this light, then at the next one, turn right.
They're getting tired of getting nothing. They really are getting tired of getting nothing. And that's a win.
At the light,
It's
use the
been
right lane
like
to merge
7
onto
months now.
CA 54 East.
Where they just haven't had any access to me. You know, they did for a little bit, but I just cut it off. Like, I'm applying my defense strategies and they're working. They're working amazingly. Now, also, I wanted to tell you guys about... Give me 1 second. The haircut, I already talked about that. Then I also talked... Give me 1 second. I'm going to stop the video and then I'm going to remember what the hell I wanted to talk to you about. Because I can't remember right now. Oh, so... The Gangstalkers are still doing signs that they want me to react to. So, like, one thing that they're doing is they're doing this.
5.7
they're
miles.
Like wiping a tear off,
CA
you know.
125
So
north.
I cried when I was getting gangstalked one time. One time I cried, and I think they knew, or they thought they knew. But when you cry because of gangstalking, gangstalkers are gonna do the sign of cleaning up a tear. So if it gets to you, if you react to that, you would think, oh, they're making fun of me because I cried. So, yeah. Also, one thing that I remember that happened, so one time I was broke as hell. And I had to get money. I had to get my coins. You know, my change. And go use a coin store because I had no money. And I had to get lunch from like the dollar store. Which is fine. I mean, whatever. I was getting my nutrition anyways. But they were teasing me about that. How? So they were slamming coins. Literally. Like, or at least I felt like the coin slamming was a thing, but I think that was just my perception. And one way that it happened was that when I got to my client, you know, the girl who's told me no one's gonna believe you, her, you know, when that was a thing, when I walked into her garage, there were a bunch of coins on the floor. And you know, I knew what they meant. However, I ignored it. And when they saw it had no effect, they stopped trying that. So now, they're still trying to figure out triggers. But the gangstalking mentality, the spirit of gangstalking, is literally just dismantling. Oh shit. It's literally dismantling. So their intents of figuring things out are pretty much futile now, because I don't really feel like I'm getting gang stalked anymore. I just feel like there's a lot of toxic people around, and I'm just blocking them. It's like I'm literally not allowing them to gang stalk me. I didn't know I could do that. It's crazy when you think you're powerless, you really don't see a way out. But when you know where the attacks are coming from, you can literally obliterate the entire gang stalking operation. You just have to stand your ground, stop for a little bit, and analyze where are they coming from, what are their entrances, and just cut them right at the entrance. When that happens, they have nothing else. The only thing that they have left is the swaying of my car. So I think
in 2 miles, continue onto CA 125 North.
I'm gonna look for a different area where I can sleep. Like somewhere that they have no idea where it's from. And then I will not log into any type of grinder or anything, so that way they don't know where I'm at. And that typically does the job. Well, it has done it in the past. Like they only have access to me in that direct trolley station. But you know, it is so busy, you know. But I feel like I have to stay there every so often, so that I can't keep ignoring them. I wanna keep a little bit connected, just a little bit of accessibility of them to me, because I feel like it's making my ability to stay calm in a stressful situation a lot stronger.
Use the left 3 lanes to continue onto CA 125 North.
That was my mentality. Like I'm cutting off what I don't need anymore, what I already overcame. Because now if another position like that appears, I can just cut it off.
In 3 miles, keep right onto CA 94 East toward La Mesa.
Of mastering my heart rate when I'm getting gang stalked, because my heart rate still goes up a little bit. However, I am able to control my mind. To me, gang stalking has been more of a self-control journey, where I am able to keep 100% control of my mind when I'm in a stressful situation. And until I get my car swayed and my heart rate doesn't go up, then I'm gonna do something about it. I feel like exposing myself to these types of stresses has been very beneficial.
Keep right onto CA 94 East toward La Mesa.
If it wasn't for gang stalking, I would still be very reactive to everything outside of me. However, not doing so, I can think clearly. I can defend myself with people with narcissistic tendencies, and then just boom, make them nothing. And the thing is that it's funny because I feel like gang stalking is like the last boss. Because my entire life, every type of relationship that I have had, it has been with someone who has gotten close to me. And when they're close to me, they grow jealous and then they try to control me. And they just try to fuck my mind up, you know. Every time I've had a boyfriend, I typically end up with nothing. But right now, I am purposely having nothing so that I can have everything. And by that, I mean I have only the expenses that I need to survive. I'm not paying rent because I want to pay all my bills first. I want to pay my car. I want to pay what I owe, you know. And like I used to care about being homeless because it was new to me. But it can actually be quite useful because you're not really attached anywhere.
Use the right lane to keep right onto CA 94 east toward La Mesa.
I can literally sleep wherever is closest to the location that I have my errands to do the next morning.
Keep right.
And I find that very useful. So, I'm going to tell you something nasty.
Use the right lane to take exit 9C toward La Mesa and Spring Street.
I have bought this big protein can that is black. That is pretty much my peeing vase, my peeing container. And I'm going to tell you why I have to do that. When I was getting Gangstalked,
then keep right toward La Mesa and Spring Street.
Whenever I used to go into a public restroom, you know, it would be
Use
a nightmare.
Use the right lane to keep right toward La Mesa and Spring Street. Then turn right onto Campo Road toward Broadway.
Because I have to find a place to pee, you know, and there's no
at the
such
light,
thing.
Use the right lane to turn onto Campo Road toward Broadway.
A restroom
then turn
available.
right onto
So I had to find a restroom. And whenever I would find a restroom, you know, gangstalkers would like, let's say that I was going to go to a Starbucks. As soon as I would walk into the Starbucks, the gangstalkers would be there. And they would immediately, as soon as I would walk in, there was a gangstalker would talk to the barista. And the barista would literally tell them, oh, he's going to use the restroom to smoke meth. That was not always true, but it was true here and there. But I mean, I wasn't hurting anyone, and I wasn't doing smoking crack in public. You know, I was doing it in the restroom. I've never been a nasty, sloppy person. Never. However, gangstalkers, oh, I have to tell you. Well, I think I already made a video when they made me a germaphobe. That shit was the that thing that was the craziest thing. Well, oh my god. Anyways, so whenever I would go in a restroom, you know, it would just always be incredibly uncomfortable because I would have people, you know, like walk in and they just bang on the fucking door. Hey, I need to use a restroom. Like it was nightmarish. It really truly was. Now I wouldn't allow them to do that to me. Fuck no. I would probably put them right in their place. But at the time, I didn't know how to deal with that because all of that was so new. And it was just so insane. It was so chaotic. And I didn't understand what was happening. Now, I know everything, you know, about gangstalking. I could actually recreate a gangstalking operation. I really could. It's not hard. And I'm a really creative person, so I think I could actually make a really badass gangstalking operation. Anyways, so again, that's one thing that they had on me is that I have to go through that shit, you know. And the reason that I have a piss can now is so that so that I can just fucking pee whenever I have to, because it is highly inconvenient for a homeless person. Have you ever wondered that? Like, homeless people, they have their things, but they have to find a place to pee wherever they're at. And it's not easy, and homeless people, especially if they smell, they're going to be looked down upon whenever they are like, whenever they have like whenever they need to use a restroom. No one wants homeless people to use their restrooms, because a lot of these people are very dirty, not all of them. So yeah, it's insane. It's really, really, really crazy. That's how they impose themselves on my life. I remember in the beginning when gangstalkers were testing me, they would do things that I found very, very odd. Like, one time I was at a 99-cent store in Calexico, and they did a street theater where they put the show of an abduction of a girl. I was waiting in line, and then I saw this girl. The mom put her in the line of the 99-cent store, and the mom just said, "Aquí quédate, stay here." So then the mom left the girl there, and then a man walked right up to the girl, and he just literally grabbed her and told her, "Hey, ¿que te quieres ir conmigo? Hey, do you want to go with me?" And he kissed the girl on the cheek. And the girl didn't say anything, like that or anything. He just grabbed her. And he took her outside, so I followed the guy outside. And then he had a van, dude, a white van. And the van had no license plate. And I was like, holy shit. Did I just see what I think I did? And fucking, I left, and I was shaking off my feet, I got to my mom's house, and then I was like, "Mom, I think I just saw a child abduction." And then I told her everything that happened. So then I called the store. I was like, "Hey, has there been any type of kid abduction?" And I was like, I just saw someone's kid being abducted. And she said no. And then I was always thinking, but at that time, I didn't know I was getting gang stalked yet. I didn't know. Nothing had happened yet. So I was getting gang stalked before they even made themselves obvious. Like, I was targeted way, way, way before. I was targeted a really long time ago. Like, more than the 7 years. But I just didn't know it. I really had no idea, dude, that I was getting gang stalked so long ago. And yeah, like when I was doing personal training at Ultimate Fitness Center on Chula Vista on Palomar Street. Oh, like I remember this white guy who he was trying to pull attention. Like he was working out while looking at me like aggressively. I think that was part of the training. Because a lot of really uncanny things happened. Like that. Like the street theater. The street theater wasn't a big thing. I think when they're doing that, they're just trying to train you to pay attention to them. That's all there is. And then, they just slowly reel you in. It's such a slow process, and it's just a show. Like, they're like, I did that. As a team, like, we did that. We fucked that person up. So yeah, no, like it was like a serious intent of like murder. It's murder, dude. Gangstalking is actual murder. And I honestly can't believe that this such thing is possible and that there's so many participants. It's a literal intent on someone's life. And the thing is that I haven't told anyone in 10 years. I haven't told anyone, dude. I just took it here. But the thing is that I didn't do it before because I didn't want to sound crazy. So I knew I had to know more, So the thing with gang stalking is that not a lot of people are able to see it for what it is. Like, the gang stalking sign is something that people don't haven't you noticed why I'm one of the few people that talk about gangs? One of the few people that talk about gang stalking who actually mentioned the gang stalking sign. And it's something really hard to explain because it's almost invisible. It's about timing. So, like, let's see that I'm surrounded by people, right? Like, I was at the gym. Like, you're at a gym. Just picture yourself at the gym or somewhere where there's a lot of people. And imagine if you look that way and there's someone, like, in that direction. As soon as you look there, they're going to go like that. So what that does is that it kind of pulls your attention and your eyeball to the motion. And so then you just like, and it's weird. So you look away, or and you look somewhere else, and then let's say that I look that way. So as soon as I look, someone else does that. And then, like, so wherever you look, someone does that. As soon as it's like a thing about timing. If they're sitting down and you look at their leg, they're gonna just like do the leg like that. And that has an effect. It has a crazy effect where, like, once you, like, let's say that has been happening to you a lot. So it kind of produces a sense of panic. It doesn't produce the sense of panic on me anymore because I already experienced it so many times. But people typically run away from that, And when that happens, when gang stalkers see that you are actually panicked about it, they begin doing even crazier things. Like, they start running, or they start running like on your peripheral vision. And they just look, I don't know, like demons. Like, it feels like they're demons. It really has like a demonic feeling to it. So that happened. That's happened to me for days on end. Like, everywhere I looked. So, and then when you leave, you become sensitive to that sudden motion that pulls your eyes. So then let's say that you are driving, right? And then you look somewhere and then you see a turn signal. And the turn signal is blinking. So that, like, your eyes are gonna be pulled to that. So then you're gonna feel that they use the turn signal to pull your eyes to it. And it's really hard to not feel anger, because it feels like you really don't have control of your eyeballs. Like, it feels like they pull the eyeballs. Your attention is stolen from you to them. And and it gets your mind racing. It is an uncanny sensation, that when you're experiencing it, it produces a sensation of panic. And this has a lasting effect after it. So whenever you leave, you start to perceive cars, you start to perceive headlights as, and you start to perceive people that just do a certain motion whenever you look at them as the gang stalking sign. So then also what's gonna happen is that, and let's say that how they tell you that they're following, they stop actually doing that, but they were doing it for a while. The thing is that I just stopped paying attention to them. But they would park in front of my work, and whenever I would look, they would do that. Like at the moment that I would look, they would do that. Like that's how they say, we're following you, we're stalking you. But this is the thing. Don't think that they're actually taking turns trying to follow you. That's what it feels like, right? They're not actually following you. What they're doing is the only thing that they do is they just do that whenever they see you, wherever you're parked, wherever you look at them. So it gives you the impression that you're actually getting followed by them. So my imagination, my thought process when I first saw that was that they were taking turns actually following me. But the reality is that these people are just going about their day. They're not actually following you. They're just doing the signs like that. So it is your mind that creates the whole narrative about them following you. But you're not actually getting followed. You're getting gang stalked. There's a difference. Gang stalked, I think, has the wrong. It shouldn't be even named gang stalked. It should be named something along the lines of perception manipulation by groups. Because no one is actually following you. So they just make you believe that they are. But that's the truth, that no one is actually following you. And honestly, I just can't believe how gangstalking came about. What kind of fucking mind fucked up in the head person could have come with that shit? I'm just happy, that I can tell you about it. And anyways, I'm so sorry. I totally went on tangent. So when people do that, the gang stalking sign, people, you just don't know what it is, because it feels weird, it feels demonic, but you simply cannot put your finger on it, because you have no context to what's happening. You don't know what it is. You just know how it feels, but you really have no context. You have no information about it. So a bunch of people just doing that, So also, when you're getting gangsta, people are going to be doing like a bunch of sounds behind your back. And then you're going to look, and then they're going to stop doing it. They're just going to be doing a bunch of, at least they did a bunch of sketchy things to me like that. So they might not do the same things to you, but they're going to do derivatives from it. So like from the information that I tell you here, you're going to be able to make connections and to figure out what they're doing, because it's just gaslighting. It's a giant gaslighting operation. It's all gaslighting, the whole thing. It's just denying your reality. But this is the thing. You don't tell them what your reality is. That way they don't have an opportunity to deny it. That's it. Don't give them an opportunity to deny your reality.